Hello, students, and welcome back to Diksha's Learning World. I hope you all are safe and secure at your places. I am Diksha Kesarwani, your English teacher, and today we'll be discussing a very interesting topic, that is transformation of sentences according to function. Yes, you heard me correct. Transformation of sentences according to function. When I taught you sentences, I told you that sentences is broadly classified into two categories. First one is according to structure and second one is according to function. So in this video, we'll be studying transformation of sentences according to function. I'll be making this video into three parts. Right, this is the first part of the video. So without further wasting any time, let's begin and understand what is the meaning of transformation of sentences. Right, so the transformation of sentences means changing one sentence into another without changing its meaning. Or you can say that the form of a sentence can be changed from one grammatical form to another without changing its meaning, right? So the transformation of sentences helps in expressing the same thing in different ways, right? And sometimes students ask me, ma'am, why we have to study this transformation of sentences? So beta, transformation of sentences helps students learn variety of expressions in writing English. So it is basically helpful for writing English. Okay. Now, according to function, what is according to function? Means how sentences are classified into according to functions. So I told you that sentences are classified into four categories according to function. First one is declarative sentences, which is also called as assertive sentences. Okay, so declarative sentence gives us information. It states ideas, facts and opinions. Second one was interrogative sentences, which asks question, right? Third one was imperative sentences, which tells us to do something. And fourth one was exclamatory sentences, which expresses sudden emotion and feelings. Okay, so let's study transformation of sentences according to function. How to convert one form of sentence into another without changing its meaning. Okay, so first one is assertive to interrogative. Okay, so rule 1 says that if the sentence is in the affirmative, you have to change it into negative interrogative. If it is in negative, then you have to change into bare interrogative. Okay, for example, see this assertive sentence. He was very gentle. Now this is assertive positive sentence, right? So if I have to convert this sentence into interrogative sentence, first of all we have to look at the auxiliary verb. Okay, so this sentence contains auxiliary verb. So what we have to do is simply we have to interchange the position of the subject and the auxiliary verb. And as it is mentioned in rule 1 that if the sentence is positive, we have to convert into negative interrogative. Negative interrogative means that we have to use negation words. Negation words means no, not, never, none, something like that. Okay, so we have how we have converted it. Wasn't he very gentle? Understood? See the second sentence. He is not a good person. Now this is again assertive sentence but negative form. Okay, so when we have to convert a negative assertive sentence into interrogative sentence, we have to use positive form of sentence. For example, is he a good person? Again what we have done, we have interchanged the position of the subject and auxiliary verb, and as in the sentence negative word was used, so we don't have to use negative word in our interrogative sentence. So the sentence will become like, is he a good person? Question mark. I hope this is clear to everyone. Let's see rule 2. Rule 2 says if there is no auxiliary verb in the sentence, change it by using do, does, did or don't, doesn't, didn't. For example, he plays football. This is assertive sentence. Now we have to convert it into interrogative sentence. So it will be, does he play football? Now how we have used does? Students ask you, ma'am, how we will know that we have to use does over here? As no auxiliary verb is used over here. Now first of all, what is auxiliary verb? Auxiliary verb is called as helping verb And I have already told you that auxiliary verbs help to link the subject and the main verb. Okay, so as in this sentence auxiliary verb is not there, so we have to add auxiliary verb like is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, do, does, did. Okay, but if we have to convert assertive to interrogative, we have to use what? We have to use only three auxiliary verbs, and they are do, does, did, or don't, doesn't, didn't. So now in this sentence, he plays football. Over here, we have to understand which tense is used over here. Plays football. Okay, so simple present tense is used over here. So I have told you that in simple present tense, we use two auxiliary verbs, do or does. Do is used when a subject is plural. Does is used when a subject is singular. So over here, he is singular subject. So we have to use does. Okay. So we will add our auxiliary verb before our subject, that is, does he play football? Question mark. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now look at second sentence. They did not play football yesterday. Now over here the auxiliary verb is already used. So what we have to do, we just have to interchange the position of subject and auxiliary verb. So the sentence will become like this. Did they play football yesterday? Question mark. Now let's see rule 3. Rule 3 says that if a sentence contains never, so we have to replace it by ever. For example, I never drink tea. So in interrogative it will become, do I ever drink tea? Now how do we have used over here? Because this is which type of tense is used? Simple present. Drink is used over there. So we have to use what? Do. Do I ever drink tea? We have replaced never with the word ever. Okay. Next one, rule 4. Rule 4 says that if a sentence contains everybody, everyone, all, so we have to replace those words by who plus we have to use don't, doesn't, and didn't according to the sentence. For example, everybody wishes to be happy. Okay, everybody wishes to be happy. So when we will change this assertive sentence into interrogative sentence, so we have to replace everybody with who. Okay, so it will be who doesn't wish to be happy. Now why we have used doesn't? Because wishes is used over there. Simple present tense. Okay, so who doesn't wish to be happy? Question mark. Okay, don't forget to put question mark, otherwise you will lose marks. Rule 5. Now what rule 5 says? Rule 5 says that if in a sentence every plus noun is used, so you have to replace it by is there any plus noun which is used in the sentence plus who plus don't, doesn't, or didn't according to the sentence. For example, every man wishes to be happy. Every man wishes to be happy. So over here we have to replace what? We have to replace every with is there any. Okay, so it will be is there any man who doesn't wish to be happy? Question mark. Because over here man is what? Man is noun, right? So we have to use is there any plus noun plus who plus doesn't. Okay, so is there any man who doesn't wish to be happy? Question mark. Next rule. So next rule says that if in a sentence nobody, no one, none is used, so we have to replace by who. For example, nobody could count my love for you. This is assertive sentence. So when we are converting it into interrogative sentence, the sentence will become who could ever count my love for you? Question mark. Nobody has been replaced by who, and rest of the sentence is as it is copied. Okay. Now let's see rule 7. Rule 7 says that if in a sentence there is no, so you have to replace it by is there any or who or what. Now who is used for person, living person, and what is used for thing. Like in this assertive sentence, there is no use of this law. So when we have to convert it into interrogative sentence, it will become what? What is the use of this law? Now you will be asking that, ma'am, why we are using what over here? Why we are not using who? So as I told you that who is used for person, and what is used for thing, and law is a thing, right? So we have to say the sentence like this: what is the use of this law? Okay, or any other form can be what, like, is there any use of this law, question mark. Okay, now let's look at the another example. There is no man happier than Jamil. Now over here we are talking about Jamil. Jamil is a person, so over here we will be using who and not what. So who is happier than Jamil, question mark. Next sentence, rule 8. If in a sentence it is no is used, so you have to replace it by is there any or why. For example, in assertive sentence, is it no use of taking, it is no use of taking unfair means in the exam. So when you are converting this into interrogative form, it will be why take unfair means in the exam, or is there any use of taking unfair means in the exam. So we have replaced it is no by is there any or why. I hope this is clear to everyone. Next one, rule 9. This is the last rule. It doesn't matter. If in any sentence it doesn't matter is used, so we have to replace it by what, though, or does it matter. For example, in assertive sentence, it does not matter if you fail in the exam. So in interrogative sentence it will become what? What though if you fail in the exam, or does it matter if you fail in the exam, question mark. Obviously it matters, but still it will be what? Does it matter if you fail in the exam? Okay, so this was about transforming any sentence from assertive sentence to interrogative sentence. Okay, and when you have to convert any interrogative sentence into assertive sentence, you have to follow the same rule. I hope this is clear to everyone. So if you are having any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be there to solve your query. Okay, in the next video we'll be studying about transforming sentences exclamatory to assertive sentence and imperative to assertive sentences. Till then, what you have to do? Keep learning and keep practicing. Thank you and have a nice day.